What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Brocast. It is 3 o'clock. It is that time once again for us to bring you the greatest live stream this side of the galaxy. My name is Commander Josh Hawkins. I am joined by Commander Turgeon.
Good afternoon.
And Commander Greatest.
Hello, contact lenses. Got a prescription? Okay, you can go to an optometrist.
Hold on a second. On the Brocast, you got some ads on the Brocast. That's right. Yeah, okay. I think we could turn down the Brocast music now. On the Brocast. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you guys all here. A beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's just the right type of space weather to go exploring, and that's what we're going to be doing today. As you can tell by the thumbnail, right up there somewhere it says the Eagle Nebula. We are continuing along with the expedition that we've been following for the past little while here, and we are going to try to get ourselves to the Eagle Nebula. I've got about 140 some odd jumps, so I should probably get started on that as soon as possible. Let's transition over to the game. Kind of flying out into space. I will be jumping as quickly as possible. I think I've got, what, let's see, 144 jumps to get there. We're going to try to do our very best on the Brocast today to get to the Eagle Nebula, but we may get just a little bit close to it. There's quite a few things for us to talk about today. We've got some live streams that happened with Elite Dangerous over the past couple of weeks that have shown us a glimpse of what to expect with the Beyond updates. So we have a few things to talk about there. And, well, you know what? I also wanted to talk about another game, since it's space-related. We'll very briefly talk about Astroneer, which just released an update a couple days ago as well. I was playing that this morning, and I gotta say, they are making some incredible progress with the game. Looks really fantastic.
I will certainly check that out again once I'm home, yeah.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
That's another one that we got to do a live stream on here sometime in the near future. Maybe after the beta, while we're waiting for the beta to go live to actual release.
Sounds good. We'll
check out a couple of other games, including Astroneer. We'll do an update maybe on Helion as well. And just check out what's going on with all of these other games.
Osiris and Pulsar, all of our old favorites.
Yeah, you know, all of those. I think even Star Trek Bridge Crew might have gotten an update, but well...
It actually got a patch to allow it to be played by people not in VR now.
Oh, really?
What?
Not in VR.
Really?
True.
What?
Absolutely true, yeah.
That's really interesting.
Are you saying I'm gonna have to survive to Jenna's legs in first person now?
No, I hope not. Well, the thing is, you know, you're stuck in your chair, so you'd be more stuck in your chair. So you better survive the legs without VR.
Oh, I'm sure there will be a way to move your head around, though, at least to look around and see legs. I mean, if they didn't put that in, then that would just be useless.
Jenna's big fan spooky there in chat.
I do want to say that I will be doing my very best with all of your support to buckyball my way to the rendezvous point. However, I will be looking at the system map just to look, just to look. Okay, I know.
Only looking, no touching.
Just looking, no touching. It's just window shopping. That's all it is. Unless, like Turgeon posted in admin before, a ring world with a ring Earth-like world with 3 moons or something like that. So,
okay, gentlemen in chat, bats are open. How many jumps will he be able to make before he stops to scan
something? Danny Power says, how many jumps Josh said you was going to do? I have 141 jumps.
My bets are 12 jumps.
12 jumps before I stop and scan a planet?
12? Wow, that's very generous.
I believe in his discipline today.
Oh my god. 12? Oh, look at this. 4, 10, minus 5.
Yeah, he's already scanned them. It's too late.
Yeah, he's actually flown the route before and looked at every single system and scanned everything. So now when he jumps back, he can pretend he's not looking, you know?
Oh, I don't need to look at that one.
Off the checklist. There you go.
Yeah. I hate you guys. I mean, I love you. You guys are awesome. You bastards. Oh, look at all of it. You know what? It's amazing to see that here I am still finding... Oh, why are my controls reversed? Okay, I'm going to have to fix that. I'm going to have to take like 3 seconds just to go into the menu and fix the hat button on my throttle. Every time I want to scroll up, it's the opposite. For some reason, the buttons are inverted. That's the only thing I'm going to stop for along the way. Okay, I promise. Kind of
pulling to the side of the road.
Not crossing my fingers on this one. Okay.
Commander J Fox coming in here without shields and only 75% hull left.
Let's see.
Like he had some adventures along the way.
Going to be galaxy map.
But that's okay. It's only 0.3 is it? Gravity that place. Wouldn't worry.
What would this be under?
I'm not worried. He's a plater after all.
System map. Where are the system map options under controls?
Miscellaneous.
Flight miscellaneous? No.
Or what's the other one called?
Camera suite? No. Multi-crew driving, drive throttle. I got to do this quick. Interface? No, that's not it.
I just don't touch mine.
Let's try miscellaneous.
These days, just leave it alone.
Yeah, why do they gotta hide it in such a strange place? Why don't they just have one that says
Spooky
system map?
says mode selection.
Mode selection.
Mode switches.
Mode selection.
Mode switches.
Mode switches. Mode selections. Where the hell is that?
Very bottom.
Yeah.
Very bottom. Camera suite, flight orders, driving mode switches. No.
No, mode switches. Just mode switches.
Just mode switches.
Just mode switches?
Yeah. Under miscellaneous.
Oh, under miscellaneous. Okay. Miscellaneous.
Like one below miscellaneous.
One below? Oh, there it is. Okay.
And then very bottom.
Very bottom. Open system map. That's open the system map.
And close.
I don't want to open it. I want the control so you can move around in the system map. Where is that?
What? I don't even know.
Welcome to the Brocast, everybody.
Yes.
Operating as normal,
No.
as you can see.
Welcome to Elite Dangerous's horrible control setups. Okay, what I'm talking about is when you're in the system map, to be able to move around, you have to... Well, you could use the mouse, but you could also use the hat switch on your controls. So where the hell is that?
No clue.
Ah, screw it. Screw it. Screw it.
I have my beef with the VR system map at the moment because it never goes where you want. I found that if I fiddle with the rudder controls on my throttle, that it does actually stick to planets occasionally. So I just don't touch it now in case I break something. That's better than nothing. Because the functionality in VR of that system map is desperately bad.
They're saying it's under Galaxy Map. Okay, let's just take a quick look. What a great place to have controls for the system map, right? Under Galaxy Map. What a...
Well, it's got the word map in it.
Pitch, translate down, cam axis, cam set. What the hell, which one would it be?
Oh wow, I'm getting interdicted. That's interesting. What does he want from me?
Probably inverted here.
I found my next target, Commander, and it's you.
I don't even know. He's just scanning me, and I don't have anything on me, so I should be good.
Well, I can't invert the y-axis. Well, let's just hope that works. Okay, we got too many jumps for me to be screwing around with this anyhow,
Joseph Stewart.
Indeed, just who fit.
Okay, well, part of that is fixed, so that's good. Also, Josh, how dare you defy the mighty vision of Braben? This game is perfect incarnate.
Perfection.
Perfection incarnate. Yes, of course. The mighty Braben has...
I like that, yes. Ugdentide says that should be on an Elite Valentine's card. I found my next target, Commander, and it's you. Yeah, it should be. Special Elite Valentine's card collection.
Yeah. Oh my God!
All that tasty cargo, you know, you could have this printed on underwear, like the slogans that you have on underwear. That would work.
Terrible.
Well,
we are using jet cone boost to do this this little buckyballing spree that I'm using here, but I don't know how many jet cones we're actually going to get along the way.
Probably none, but we'll see.
I think we should also take a bet on how many times I'm going to crash into a star.
Commander Dove is in chat.
Where?
Welcome there, Commander.
I don't see
Cheers,
him.
mate.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Dove Enigma. Yeah, so this is...
I believe he's still at Waypoint 8.
This is an expedition for Commander Dove Enigma.
The US crowd this time around.
Yeah.
Great test for anyone who is wondering what expedition we happen to be on right now. Would you go ahead and just give us a quick overview of what this expedition is all about, please?
Of course, we are right in the middle of the Enigma Expedition, which is an expedition from the bubble out to Colonia in about 3.5 weeks. We're in week 2 now. Happened because Commander Dove Enigma, who is in chat here, suffers from cancer for quite a while now, and he expressed the wish to make a trip out to Colonia and be remembered in some sort of way. And FDF came forward and put a megaship there into Colonia, the Dove Enigma, and that's where we're going. That's our final goal. And yeah, we're basically escorting Dove Enigma out here on his way to this megaship and having a great fun while we're doing it.
And Dove Enigma, I've just skipped scanning an ammonia world just for you, so
that's love right there.
So
oh, it is well done.
Just to calm my nerves a little bit, I'm gonna have to drink a little alcohol because I'm telling you, this is not easy. Okay, it's not easy. God damn it!
He's bleeding on the inside.
It hurts.
Violating the mostly aimless Ascorbius rule. Don't drink and fly.
It's the bro code. It's the bro code.
We've seen the video.
So yeah, do we also want to take some bets on how many jumps before I crash into a star? I already did once before the stream started live.
Yeah.
And that was only after like 5 jumps. That's why I'm at 98% now. So we'll see what percentage I'm at actually when I get to the Eagle Nebula. Greetings, everyone. Yeah, Uchtentide can hear the pain in my voice. Yes, it's not just the pain; it's a physical pain. It's like a tugging at my soul every time I pass up scanning a planet like that. The only way I'm justifying it right now is that I want to get there to the Eagle Nebula within the show, and second of all. I'm saying this is not my main exploration account. If it was, there's no way I could do it. I just couldn't. It would hurt too much.
Dove says he found an unscanned, an untagged Earth-like last night. That's nice.
Nice.
We cached it in at Eagle's Landing.
How many of those do you think there would be between the bubble and Colonia? I'm guessing the route between the bubble and Colonia is mostly scanned now, right?
No, I mean there's so many stars between. You're still gonna find some unexplored ones. You just have to be lucky for there to be something in there.
I think it's just
Probably
interesting
be
that
some strange wave pattern like stepping stones.
That's what I was gonna say. Like because of the fact that the majority of ships have kind of like fallen to sort of like an average number of jumps or average jump range.
Yes, but you have to keep in mind that we are not flying like the main route. Neither are we doing the neutron highway, nor are we doing the sightseeing route. I mean, we're doing parts of each of those, but in between we're like crossing over and going some different paths. So I think nobody. Or only very few people probably flew exactly the path that we are taking right now. So it's just a matter of being quicker than everybody else on the expedition. Yeah. And even if you're far behind, the expedition couldn't scan every system on the way.
Fair enough.
I've passed through a lot of completely untagged systems on the way.
Same here.
Just because I've not been bothering. I haven't bothered to tag any myself either.
Man, did you guys see that new scan animation from the live stream? No, I didn't actually. New scan animation.
So good.
Holy Jesus! What the hell?
It was pretty.
Sorry, I don't know who just donated, but I gotta watch Robert McLeod. Thank you very much, Robert McLeod, for Just that's like 5 weeks off my life right there. Thank you very much. $10 for 5 weeks off my life. I don't know. That's what you guys are paying for right now. It's just make me jump out of my goddamn boots. Sorry, what were we talking about? I got completely distracted there.
We're talking about scan systems.
Right, new scan animation. So what is it for, the scan animation? It's for... Oh, I didn't scan.
It's when you're around megaships, they now have new interaction points, basically, which can be scanner elements, cargo hatches, and all sorts of other stuff. And to detect those, you have to perform a scan from afar, I think with your data link scanner. And then once you've done that, all those points of interest will show up around the megaship, and they're highlighted by this blue glow. And when you perform the data link scan itself, there's like a blue pulse going across the hull of the megaship on your, like, visible to you. Looks pretty good.
Okay, so it's not like a planet. This isn't for explorers. This is for people in the bubble.
This is actually for pirates. This is pirates getting some love.
Oh.
Yeah, because the intention behind this interaction with the megaships, at least for now, is that you can cargo break or limpet break into these cargo hatches on the megaship and get some materials and cargo out of it.
Oh, that's interesting. A little love for pirates.
The megaships now have turrets, and they will also call police on you, of course, so you will have to fend off some opposition there if you do this.
Well, that's very interesting.
I see this as a very, like, basic introduction of a new game mechanic, which in the basics of I very much like, you know, those detailed and logical interactions, like more in-depth interactions with a certain game element. And because you have to first scan the megaship, then I think you again have to scan the cargo hatch, for example, to then see where you have to attach the hatch brake or limpet. So there's some logical steps to how you proceed, you know, getting that cargo out of there. And I can see that being, yeah, built upon in the future with some other game mechanics.
X-Man 2008 saying he also noticed they updated the animations for shots hitting your shields a bit.
I didn't notice that.
So here,
I have to rewatch.
I have not had the opportunity to watch the live stream because every time the live stream goes, it's actually while I'm at work, and it happens to start right at the very end of my lunch break, which is just a pain in the ass because I don't have access to YouTube other than my lunch break at work. So I watch like little highlights and I check screenshots on Reddit, but I didn't see anything about the shields, and I didn't see that scan animation that you're talking about. I did see that they showed off the Chieftain, which looks really cool. I did see the
That's very cool.
The new planetary surfaces in that sort of pre-rendered video that they had, and I think I was...
He said in chat earlier that they showed only like 4 different new textures, and she was a bit disappointed. But I'm thinking, you know, they've only... There must be more out there. They weren't going to show...
They did mention that the range or the spectrum of colors will be much greater than what we've seen on the stream itself, and they also explicitly said again that that's only the first step in improving the visuals and interactions with planets, and there is going to be more to that in the future.
And that the colors will actually correspond to the types of materials you'll be able to find.
That as well, yes. It's not only visual, but in the future, if you're getting good at it, you will be able to discern just by looking at the planet from a distance.
What type of materials?
Yeah, if it has volcanism, if it's a high metal content planet or an icy planet, stuff like that, you will be able to discern just by the texture and the color of the planet. And that could, if you're getting really good at that, that could potentially save you the slot for the detailed surface scanner, unless you want to earn money, of course.
Yeah, I think detailed surface scanner is always going to be a key tool for explorers until they change that in some type of major explorer update, right? So,
I mean, if you're already elite and don't need the money, and you could save that slot for something else.
But if you're close enough to the planet to be able to see it and you don't scan it, you're not putting your name on it. So why would you do that? You know,
you can still scan with your regular scanner and get your name on. You don't need a a detailed surface scanner for that.
But,
or if you're extremely povy and you don't have any scanners at all, like I've currently got on my alt account flying around in an adder, you'd be able to identify it by color and know that you could land there and shoot rocks anyway.
Right, but my point is,
no
in order to see the detail on a planet, before it actually comes into view where you can really appreciate the surface texture, you have to be close enough to it. And if you're approaching the planet, why would you not use a detailed
why
surface
would
scanner?
You do that anyway?
You know, you're already approaching the planet, you're going to scan it while you're approaching.
The only reason you would do that is if you want to save the slot for another module, but of course, otherwise it would always make sense to still bring a Discovery scanner along.
But would your regular scanner tag the planet?
Yes.
It does. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Enough, yeah.
You don't get the materials and stuff. You don't get all the information, but you do get your name on it.
I didn't realize that. It's good for newbie explorers, I suppose, if you can't afford a detailed surface scanner. So,
Rav, we do need dedicated scanner slots, or at the very least, we need a mod where you can take the ADS and the DSS and combine them in one size 2 slot. That would do. I'd settle for that, please. Couldn't we have that? Rather than taking up 2 slots.
I like what you say about dedicated, scanner slots, and that should be on certain ship types. Like, there's no reason that you would have that on other ship types.
I'm confident that will come, because we've already seen the introduction of dedicated military slots with those, hull reinforcements and stuff. We've seen dedicated passenger slots. So I don't see a reason why we wouldn't have exploration and maybe even mining slots. Like, maybe they will enforce this role model onto all the ships very, focused more in the future with different types of dedicated slots.
That have the name Explorer in them, really.
Right. Like,
you've only got gunships and Explorer that actually have names that say what they're for. And,
there are no ships with roles in this game. Only the names designate the roles, and that's it. And even then, the names don't actually mean anything.
Appeal. Let's not get this wrong here. Some people do enjoy, making their ships work in different ways and maybe using them in a way that the ship wasn't necessarily intended to in the first place, but just make it work somehow. That's the risk you run there if you put only dedicated slots on a ship and you say this is now a mining ship and it's not useful for anything else anymore, pretty much. But then that's also gonna, of course, piss some people off. So you have to tread carefully there.
Well, obviously, but saying this is now a mining ship doesn't mean that people won't find a way to make it a combat ship.
They will still find a way, of course, but it's just gonna limit the possibilities you have, and I don't think that's a good thing in Elite Dangerous, because that's one of the appeals, that you have all these possibilities with the ships.
Life finds a way, Grey Test.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let's very quickly touch base on Astroneer. I wanted to talk about real quick before we talk about the rest of the Elite Dangerous stuff, because I was playing that a little bit this morning. I didn't intend on playing it this morning. I was actually going to jump into Elite and see how far I needed to go for this expedition, but as I opened up my computer, I realized Steam was still running, and I saw that Astroneer had an update. And a very interesting update at that. One of the things that they updated...
Yeah. You're interrupting chat, you see, by doing that, and I was clacking to not interrupt chat with talking.
It's kind of like I'm doing a news broadcast, like... Reporting in now, live from Astroneer. So
I've got that. I've got one of Tom's tracks that we had for that. That's for floating news, but
floating news.
Using it on the broadcast. Yeah, that's what it's called, floating news. I haven't got it on the soundboard.
So one of the things that they have started to do is they've started to upgrade the graphics engine, and they've updated the whole lighting system. So immediately noticeable if you've played Astroneer before and you log in now, all of a sudden there's just a more crisp lighting environment.
I've seen screenshots of it on Adam's Twitter for.
His Twitter? His Twitter. What are you looking at Adam's Twitter for? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
we caught you.
It looks pretty amazing, but I haven't seen it in action yet.
Yeah, the lighting looks really nice. The game is visually much more impressive than it was, and I think this is just the first step in a whole overall overhaul that they're doing to their to their actual lighting engine and the game engine as well. Terrain 2.0 is going to be coming out sometime in the beginning of this year, and that's going to rework the entire cave systems, how they're generated. So that's going to be more interesting. And I hope, and I've seen a lot less of this, I don't know if it still exists in the game, but I imagine Terrain 2.0 is going to fully fix any of the tearing of the ground that we've seen in previous versions of the game. When you're,
I do have to say, I very much look forward to hopping back into this, because I haven't looked at it for months, so I have no clue what's going on anymore, and I very much look forward into, you know, hopping into the cold water again and just learning my ropes again and enjoying the new environments.
Well, it's a completely different game now, Greatest. They have added in something called Research. I think they called it Research 2.0.
Yeah, I didn't have a look at that just yet, so that's going to be good.
And with this most recent patch that they just put in as well, they've expanded on that, and when I was playing today, it felt like an entirely new game. Actually, it felt entirely new from the last time I played it, which already included the research updates. So this is like a great step forward in the research update, and it's really made the gameplay focus more on well, it's sort of like the beginning steps of automation in a sense. I'll explain as best as I can what's actually happening in the game right now while I continue to jump. You're going to see me do my greatest multitasking ever. Okay, so research used to be, you would go around, you'd pick up these little research things, you'd come back, you'd drop them on the research thing, it would unlock them, and it would give you a research item. So it just adds something new into the game. And you could very, very quickly unlock all of the build modules in the game. You just run around, or if you were playing with a co-op game, you know, with 2 or 3 other people, they'd all just go gather a bunch of resources, research resources, bring them back, unlock everything, and next thing you know, you're jumping onto the next planet. Research does not work that way at all anymore. It is 100% power dependent now to do research, and you could research anything. You could research the resources you collect, so any of the little, you know, when you gather resources and it turns into a little unit, you could pop that onto the research thing, or you could go and gather those research, like, chests, I guess they're calling them now, research chests. Those are like, you know, the funky colored, weird-looking things that you pick up and you used to throw onto the research thing before. So what happens is when you put something onto your research scanner or module or whatever it is, it basically starts scanning that item, and it returns a certain amount of bytes per minute. And those bytes are what you need in order to unlock all of the different components in the game, and that includes new base components, as well as the little things that you need to build for like little windmills and power generators and everything. So everything is
bytes?
Unlocked with it's
what are they using, like floppy disks?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. That's like a currency in the game now. The bytes are required in order to unlock the recipe for these things. Now, you can choose which one you want to unlock. So let's say, for example, you want to unlock the large battery. Well, you can go right to that, but I know this one because this is what I was working on. You need 6,000 bytes to unlock it, and that's actually a considerable amount of bytes. In order to power your research thing, you need a constant supply of power. And so power has become a very important resource, and I think it's great the way that you actually have to manage power now, because it's really hard to generate power in the early game. You only have, you only have the power that you can suck up from the ground. You have to unlock, the little solar panel, and then the little wind panel, the little tiny ones first, and those cost bytes. So you have to build your research thing. You have to, put a couple little nodes onto it and get some bytes, and then unlock a little solar power, and then put that on your base. And then, of course, you only get power when the sun's out, which means you can't research at nighttime, but you need this constant flow of power. The next thing is, and with this update, what they've done is the amount of bytes that you get per minute will kind of come in on a varying scale. It's kind of hard to describe, but imagine sort of like steps. So each thing that you research will have, let's say when you start researching it, you'll have only 10 bytes per minute, but then after 2 minutes it jumps up to 20 bytes per minute, and then after another 2 minutes it jumps down to 10 bytes a minute. So you can see when you put it onto the research thing how many bytes per minute you're going to get and how long it's going to take and what your total amount of bytes is for that object. And then you can pause or cancel research at any given time, but then you lose whatever you've gotten for that. So it's really interesting, and it's sort of created a system now where you're trying to get a constant supply of power, because even when you're not at your base, you need power for your research units to be functioning, and you might want to have like several research units functioning at the same time in order to get more bytes per minute and unlock stuff quicker. It's really interesting, and kind of adds like a constant need to be going out and coming back and bringing back stuff to research and power your base with. So
6,000 bytes or one big nom.
Or one big what?
Nom.
Nom?
Yes. As in nom nom.
Yes, or one big nom nom. Chat is decidedly Elite Talk stream is off in Astroneerland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a certain disconnect here.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, guys, we do play a lot of different games on the Brocast, and when there's an update and we're not playing that particular game, we want to cover as much of it as possible. So Elite Dangerous does have a few things to talk about, and we're going to get to that as well, so don't worry, there's going to be plenty of Elite Dangerous talk, but it's also nice to cover some of the other games that we've played on the Brocast and kind of give you guys an update, because I know a lot of you guys do play it. If you play Astroneer, let's see a hashtag Astroneer in the chat, and maybe we'll do an Astroneer stream sometime in the future that you guys can all join in on if you'd like. I'm hoping that eventually they'll upgrade it from, you know, 4 players to a much larger server capacity. Although, I kind of think that's going to come in a little later on. This is now a Space Marine podcast. What about life forms in Elite? What about life forms in Elite? You know, there was some stuff in the... there was something in the live stream that somebody caught. I saw it on Reddit. And what was that? It was on the Galaxy map. There was a Guardians and a Thargoids selection tab. So,
yeah,
what is
that? We have to
about?
talk about all these things, but regarding that in particular, you have to keep in mind that that filter on the Galaxy map shows the allegiance of the systems, not of any players or NPCs or anything.
It was a dev build, so
it was a dev build. So all you can really like take from there is, yes, there in the future you might be able to filter for systems where the Guardians or the Thargoids have been present, but that's really all that's there. Might be more to it, of course, we don't know, but that's all I see directly here. You know,
you could the devs could find the systems on the map because you don't remember them all. So you know, we don't know.
Yeah, like the bases, you could maybe see the systems with Thargoid or Guardian bases on the Galaxy map now in the future.
Let's assume that is a live build, or not a live build, but what we will see in the live build. What could that mean? What do you think? I mean, that there would be a Thargoid base, or that there's...
We do have Thargoid bases. Honestly, I don't think it will change anything. It's just an improvement to allow people that aren't as engaged and involved in the whole story development of Elite, you know, who probably don't watch YouTube or live streams or anything else and don't check Galnet regularly. They probably don't even know about the Guardians or the Thargoids. And yeah, that's how it is. So it only makes sense to make all these kinds of things more accessible to the general player who's not as involved.
I mean, that just goes back to everything that we've bitched about in the past, about how the general populace probably has no idea what's actually going on in the galaxy because they stay in the bubble and they play the game there, and that's basically all there is to it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in the game that jumps into your face and says, look, the Thargoids are attacking, do something. Nothing. Like, you have to read the newsletter, you have to watch videos, or you have to check Galnet to know about all this.
But Sinclair Research says, Galnet audio, though.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly, and that's why I like these updates coming in, because they will allow this general populace of Elite Dangerous to get more involved.
Yep, because you'll log into your
know
game
anything
and
about Galnet Audio.
no, of course, you've only been hiring the voice actor for it.
I love, like, this should be a thing. Like, this should be lore now, that Turgeon is responsible for Galnet Audio. It should totally be Elite Dangerous official lore now.
That would be great. You guys should petition FDev for that.
Yeah. The story is just too brilliant, really is. And I mean, you've used that voice for like 1.5 years now, maybe even longer, right?
Forever. Yeah.
So that's just so funny that they pick the exact same voice, and it's not like they wouldn't know that you used that voice. Like, they have to know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
Be very interesting if they add a twist into the game. Someone just, where is it? Oh, it's Scorpius just said, what if the Guardians make the Thargoids look like kittens? So, yeah, I mean...
I like kittens.
What if the Guardians make the Thargoids look like kittens? What happens if they throw a huge twist into all of this? And yeah, the Thargoids are attacking, but realistically, they're only attacking because they're trying to get away from the Guardians, and they need... Oh, look, I'm overheating. Oh no!
Yeah.
What happens if we're just in the way of them getting away from the Guardians, and they're trying to escape, and they have to go through the bubble? The Guardians turn out to be the real villain.
Yeah, Steve there in chat says you can open Galnet Audio voiced by Yamix. That would be good. It would have to be Yamix's bored voice, though, wouldn't it? It's bored with reading about the story that you're listening to right now. Yeah, that would work.
And every time you
droning in the background,
select a news story that he should read out to you.
He goes,
he's throwing some curses at you first before he starts reading out in the board.
Come on, really? Yes, that would work.
Unexplored water world. Oh god. Okay, I'm not going. Look, I'm just jumping. The only thing I'm going to stop for are ringed Earthlikes or ringed water worlds or ringed ammonia worlds, okay? Okay?
Wow, no, you're not going to do it. But yeah, all right.
If it has a ring, I'm stopping. Plain and simple.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I hope that there's an option for Galnet Audio to be disabled, and that it's not just like an automatic on every time you log in the game. It starts reading, and you can't stop the damn thing. I mean, it would be a great way for everyone to get updated, but maybe you don't.
How many jumps in are you?
I have 108 jumps left to go. I'm doing really good, okay?
Yeah, you are, actually.
You are. You're doing quite well.
Yes, I am. I told you, I'm disciplined. I'm doing it. I have not stopped to scan a single system. I'm honking and jumping. Whole way.
What happened to Cornelius? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard from him in ages either. He used to be very active and very vocal about all the engineering side of things, and you're testing different builds and loadouts of ships, and, you know, looking at the actual numbers, testing all kinds of shield strengths. But at some point he just kind of stopped, and I haven't heard ever since.
I could take a guess, because I know exactly how he probably feels about maintaining a YouTube channel. It's tough. It's really tough. It's time-consuming. Making videos like that is... It's a harsh endeavor. I mean, it's one thing if you're releasing a story-type video once a week or once every couple of weeks. It's a different thing when you're trying to do update videos on the game and there's 2 or 3 updates in a week, you know? Unless you're fully committed to it and you have tons of free time, it's becomes very, very soul-sucking, I suppose you could say. As you could tell from the lack of updates on my YouTube channel and just the Brocast once a week. It can have harsh consequences on your life as well.
Certainly can, yeah.
I see Andrew Brooks posted something very brain-burny in chat there. He says, the Guardians are our future selves that were able to time travel, and the Thargoids who want to destroy them are trying to destroy us, so we never become them.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's an interesting conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's a way out there. It's tinfoil. Where's Shibuka when you need him with his tinfoil, eh?
Well, you have the tinfoil sound, don't you?
Yeah, I've still got the tinfoil buried somewhere here in the chat. Where
My brain
there,
just
there you
melted.
go. There you go. There's some tinfoil.
There it is. Commander Scorby says my brain just melted. Yeah. That's true. So the planetary textures, they do look nice. We didn't see a lot of variety of them, but it certainly is a nice visual update. FDev has clearly stated that this is not the end of the planetary, improvements, and we know that in Q4 we're going to see the surfaces redone as well. That video was a little lackluster, just kind of repeated showing it, but I guess they needed to do that because they don't even know what's in the next system, so if they did want to kind of show it off, they'd have to start jumping around and going and scanning planets, and it's a little easier just to show a video, although I kind of felt like it almost looked like the video that we saw originally when they first announced the planet texture updates. Like, there wasn't really anything in there that made me go, ooh, you know?
No, there was just like the only new information there was that those kind of textures and colors are related to the type of planet you're looking at.
Yeah.
And the one that they chose to have the megaship park next to that they were doing the new piracy mechanic on wasn't actually that spectacular. They could have chosen a better one for that. So it just shows that they don't. It's very much still a work in progress, and they're not sure exactly which one's going to be what.
I mean, it doesn't mean that every planet now has to be super spectacular either. I mean, that would kind of make it boring again as well. I mean, there should still be some beige balls out there, just not every single one of them.
No beige balls, please.
Okay, no beige balls. All right.
Maybe like speckled beige balls would be okay, but just not plain beige. Because, I mean, every system that I've jumped in so far and scanned and just looked at the system map is beige balls everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's... I just don't think that is the actual case in real life. I mean, how could every planet just be a beige ball? It can't. I mean, there's too much variety.
I very much agree, Corvus Corex. I would also love to see caves, but as far as I understand, that's not a trivial thing to do on the kind of terrain generation they have going on there. But yes, that would be absolutely amazing. Very much hope that will be part of Q4.
What, caves?
Yeah, caves, caverns, cave systems.
I hope so. Yeah.
Oof. I think it's a long shot, but do you think that could be like a secret in the works thing that they're doing with the surface updates?
I don't know too much about Planet Coaster, but it does run on the same underlying graphics engine, doesn't it? It's
yes,
on the same Cobra engine.
It's all on Cobra.
And you can build caves.
You could also build all kinds of stuff on Planet Coaster.
Yeah, that's a very different...
It's whether you could procedurally generate the same caves.
And that's not like the sandbox thing. Like, I think they're doing it volumetric in Planet Coaster, and that's not what we see here in Elite Dangerous. That's a 2D texture projected onto a sphere, with some angulations in there. So I see that it's different, and I see it would need a big rework, but I think it would so be worth it. Like, that would make planet surfaces so much more interesting and worth to explore.
You know, if I think about it, and I have no idea what it takes to program a game like this and how to make procedural generation work to make planets look good, but if you think about what they've discussed already as far as what they want to do for Q4 on the planet surface update, which is basically they want to change the distribution of rocks. Woo! And you know, the clusters of the rocks, I don't know, that doesn't seem terribly impressive. We did see that photo where it's showing, like, you know, kind of like not necessarily overhangs, but like what looks like maybe eroded rocks, and people have speculated
I know
that.
what you mean, yeah, but as far as I understood that part, it is gonna change, you know, that general scatter stuff that you see around, but also add some significant landmark kind of features. If that's gonna be only by like assets that they place into the world, kind of like the engineer bases which are handcrafted, or if that's going to be somehow part of the procedural generation, you know, that the planet itself can form new kind of structures and more unique structures, I do not know. But I hope it will be more significant than just
Rock
changing
clusters
around the scattering system a little bit. Yeah.
And that's all that they've talked about, but obviously they keep a lot of this stuff in reserve.
I mean, they did show the concept art with, you know, the ice spikes and everything.
Concept art.
They wouldn't show that if that's not what they're finally aiming for and wanted in the game.
Their concept art does tend to come pretty close to the truth.
Yeah, but they did show a lot of concept art in the past.
Like what's it called? If you like, where you can go outside of your ship with your suit.
Space legs?
Oh yes, well, we're still waiting for that.
EVA. We've seen concept art about that, but never heard anything.
True, very true.
Feature-wise about that in the game, actually.
Well,
yeah,
you know,
he said that he'd expect caves to be more a thing to do with atmospheric worlds than not. Well, yeah, I mean, you can have lava tubes. You can have lava tubes on no atmosphere worlds.
Yeah, but if I recall correctly, it was said that the first atmospheric planets, or I'm not sure if it was atmospheric, but at least that they're gonna add a new set of landable planets, as in the lava worlds, you know, the hot worlds close to the stars.
Oh, I hope so.
That they're gonna be landable soon. TM. I don't know when they said it, and I don't recall what, like, if they gave a date or a time frame where they want to make that happen. But I thought that like was right around the corner by now.
I don't think that could, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that they would release that with just the visual surface updates on Q1, because that's going to involve part of what they're aiming for Q4 as well, which is like the scattering of the rocks and the atmosphere, or not the atmosphere, but the volumetric particle effects and all of that stuff that they were discussing. You would need that if you're going to have like active volcanism on a planet's surface. You can't just have the same planets we have right now. People would bitch to no end about how terrible they looked, you know, including myself and many other people, I'm sure.
Yeah,
so, maybe with Q4. But I mean, you know, considering that Q4 is their intended target for releasing that sort of thing, there's a lot of things that they could add in between now and then,
also,
and maybe that would be the paid content.
Also, they've pretty much said nothing about Q2 and Q3, those two smaller updates. So those could be wild cards we have no clue about, if it's suddenly going to be new landable planets or new surface features that are even like separate from what's going to come in Q4, or something completely different. We don't know. And I mean, FDev does have a history of keeping some part of the updates completely secret unto themselves, and then, you know, surprising the players with it. And I hope to see that again as well, because I do like to see a little bit more than we've seen so far come in the future.
I do, yeah. I say Carlos in chat there says, will we find any human corpses with missing limbs near lava rivers? Well, I'd say only if we have the high ground. So.
I also want to point out that that's a completely different galaxy. That's a galaxy far, far away. So.
Far away, yeah, long time ago. Yes, that one.
Yes.
That might be possible, Rassange, that Atmo worlds are not part of S3, but I don't think those volcanic worlds necessarily would have to have atmosphere. They're just not landable as of now.
They could have...
Some of them have atmosphere, but not all of them, and at least the ones without atmosphere could be landable. And I thought they should be landable soon, or if not by now.
Yeah, I don't think you... Yeah, I think we all thought those would be landable by now. But I don't think you need atmosphere for volcanic worlds, but the particle effects would certainly assist in volcanism, because you want to see like
there should
smoke.
Something be going on the surface, of course. I mean, you can't just have, you know, a flat planet with some glowing bits on the ground where you can.
Oh wait, you can't, because that's what we have now, don't we? Just flat planet. Some of them have glowing bits on the ground. I mean, that's pretty much all that the surface features are. I'm talking about bigger glowing bits. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Like, I expect there to be some actual difference to the gameplay on a volcanic planet, where you would, actually have to avoid those lava spots because you would burn up in your ship and your SRV, or I don't know. There could be different mechanics to that, certainly. Maybe you just take hull damage while you're on the planet.
Back to your ship before your tires melt. That'd be cool.
Yeah, right.
All the tires burning off as you're going.
In my opinion, that would be the perfect reason for FTEF to finally add a new SRV with, like, tracks instead of wheels, for example.
Yes,
anyone?
not melty tires.
Yeah.
Customizable SRVs.
Oh, please. I would love it so much.
Maybe you can customize them in your ship so you don't have to take 2 separate SRVs.
Maybe.
You know, change out the
You're
tires.
expecting a little bit much, though, you know?
Oh, my expectations for this game were high a long time ago.
I would be happy if we could, like, take a medium SRV bay and put 2 different SRVs in there for different purposes. And maybe actually rebuild them as we can with the ship-launched fighters, finally. Which would make sense, in my opinion.
Yes, it would, considering the ship-launched fighters are pretty big.
Yeah, bigger than an SRV, certainly.
Maybe it's just the tires. They can't synthesize tires.
They don't have caoutchouc, or what's it called?
Rubber.
Yeah.
You need rubber. Yeah. You've got Ugdentide and Jacob and Steve Shaw in chat. They're all suggesting, like, essentially skimmer SRVs. Why not?
Oh yes, please. Yeah, any type. Like, give me a hovercraft. Give me something that can fly for a short amount of time. Give me something that can dig into the ground. I don't care. I want to have it all.
A hovercraft. It flies and keeps the surface clean.
It does.
You know,
don't take it to Tatooine.
Talking. Oh God. Tatooine is gone. We don't know what happened to it, sir. Oh, someone brought their hovercraft.
We don't know about it. Like, that dust bag would be filled in seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, surface skimmers, or maybe like a ship or an SRV launched skimmer, kind of makes me think of Blade Runner 2049. If you guys have seen that, where that little thing pops out of his car. Oh, God, so cool. So cool.
Also, Commander says Betsy. Of course we need to see Betsy in game.
Yeah, we need Betsy.
But also,
make your own
God, Betsy.
On that note, different kind of weapons and tools on the SRV finally. Just bring the outfitting more in line what we can do with ships. I would love that so much.
Scorpio says SRV with legs will happen before space legs.
Yeah, probably.
That's
Osiris is an SRV with legs.
Yeah, kind of. Well, it is actually.
Spider with a tube in its brain.
The Arachno rover, or whatever the heck. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah. You just plug a circuit board into one of the arachnid's brains, and there you go. SRV with legs.
Yep.
That's what you have in Osiris.
I don't know where Osiris is right now as far as updates go, but you know, they added in a new planet. That I understand that
they did. Yeah.
Speaking of lava planets, that's what they added in recently. Now that I remember reading it, they added in a fully active volcanic. Yeah, there's like a fire dragon and stuff. I don't know. The planets in that game were okay. Just the limited map is what really kills me with Osiris. It's not a full planet, you know. You land down on the planet, you have like 5 square kilometers, you know. Yeah, it's just a piece of a planet. If you had the whole planet, that would be really cool, but it's smaller than, like, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. You have a bigger map in that game than you do on each one of these planet surfaces. Which is a great game, by the way. I'd love to do that again on the Brocast. I think we did a PUBG Brocast? I think me and Shibuka did some live streams. I don't remember if it was
You did, yeah.
on the Brocast or if it was just a live stream, but
I think we just streamed it. Yeah.
Just
That
streamed it.
was quite fun.
You know, if you own an Xbox, there's another version of PlayerUnknown Battleground. It's called Fortnite Battle Royale or Battle Royale Fortnite. It's a free version of PUBG. It's
not only on Xbox.
Oh, it's on PC as well?
Yep.
Oh, you know what? That would be a hell of a lot more fun, actually.
Well, if you could have the zombie variant of it, you see, then you could have everybody in the broadcast chasing you down, Josh, trying to kill you.
No, I would totally be down for that. And in fact, you know what?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was like just a special thing that they set up just for like 1 or 2 streamers, or if that was like an actual mode. Oh God! Oh, this system! Oh!
What would the greatest planet be?
Oh, hold on, it hurts. I'm pretty sure I saw an ammonia world, 3 water worlds, a trinary. Oh,
Josh, let it go.
Hold on.
Let it go.
Okay, I just had to finish my beer off for that one. Oh,
Can of beer. Get the can of beer.
Just wash it down. It's okay. Everything is gonna be fine.
oh, it hurts right now. It hurts so much. I can't tell you. Oh, the temptation to jump back a system is killing me.
Yeah, actually, Mary's made a comment in chat there. She says, during the experimental weapon segment of the FD stream, the tech broker, she saw something like meta-alloy hull. Could we get
we're gonna have meta-alloy hull reinforcements, which I figure will probably have caustic resistance.
Or they could be caustic resistance, or they could even be self-healing.
Maybe,
because we did used to have self-healing hulls.
That's not how it works, Channel Ghost. We're still blaming Ascorbius and no one else.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm just thinking about that last system.
What I found actually most interesting about the tech broker, and yes, I might be biased about this, but there is going to be new materials. We saw rhenium in there, which is a new material we don't have in the game right now. We saw thallium at the megaship, and I think we also saw uranium, which I don't think is in the game right now, right? And aluminium?
And adamantium?
Aluminium, please. Yeah. Adamantium.
And unobtainium.
I'm excited about that we're going to have plenty new materials, which I think is also the reason why they will bump up the material limit from 1,000 overall to 100 per material, because you have too many materials, and that 1,000 overall would be enough.
That was it, 50 and 20 and 30 and 40 all to get unlock the one unit. Yeah, you can have trouble carrying that around.
Everyone in the stream is going to head back to that system. Dante UK says, I'm going to replay the stream heading there now. I'll still get back to Waypoint 8 before you. He's probably got one of these like Uber engineered jump ships, like jumps like 100 light years at a time. I hate you all.
How many jumps left, Josh?
Less, well, I don't know, maybe about 80? I can't tell you. I have to wait.
But yeah, talking about those tech brokers, I find it interesting because to me they essentially look like engineers light is what they come down to. You give them a fixed amount of materials, and they give you a fixed result without any RNGs in there.
Yeah, it's basically new kinds
of fixed
weapons
item
with sort of innate special effects, I would say. You know, some new interesting weapon mechanics in there, which I think is a good thing, but yes, it is somewhat similar to the engineers.
Oh, wow.
But we did wonder if you would be then able to engineer those weapons as well, though my bet is rather not, because, for example, the AX weapons also cannot be engineered. So I think the tech broker weapons would probably fall into the same category there.
Wow. I found a quadrinary? Is it quadrinary star system?
Yeah. I mean, the flechette weapon that was mentioned in the tech broker there, that intrigues me.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to see, like, in effect, a
grappling hook?
railgun shotgun or something? flechettes.
I was thinking that it was more like you can, you know, launch out an arrow that would attach to the ship and then drag you behind it so they can't get away, you know?
No, flechettes are traditionally like little nails, basically. Little tiny bolts that you like fill into a shotgun cup and then launch it out, or fill into a grenade launcher. And you shoot them, and they can penetrate like light cover, like thin sheets of metal or wooden planks and stuff, and kill people behind them, which shotgun rounds like pellets wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
but so they only have a very short effective range, at least in real life, as far as I know.
Like a railgun shotgun, effectively, something like
Loach
that.
Cannons.
It could be something like that.
Flesh cannons. Loach cannons.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, darts.
Yes, Nix, I do want a harpoon. I think that would be a really cool idea. A harpoon. Once you interdict someone, you can harpoon them so that they can't jump out. That's what I was thinking a flechette was.
Then attach yourself to cruise liners and just annoy the hell out of them.
Well, I was thinking more for pirating, you know? It's not so much to damage the ship, it's just so that they can't get away from you.
I would in my T-10 have like 4, I don't know, Imperial Eagles or Imperial Couriers and attach myself to them and then have a battle chariot. You know, let them drag me into battle.
By couriers,
Yes.
I was thinking more like Marty McFly in a Sidewinder, and you could just sort of tack off the back of a beluga and just ride on its wake into Super Cruise into another system.
At one point, when space legs are in Elite Dangerous, and these are going to come eventually, right? I mean, within the lifespan of the game, space legs will be implemented. How do you think that you will get from one ship to another if you're trying to pirate them? Do you have to disable the ship first, or would you use something like a harpoon, latch onto the ship, drag your ship closer, and then be able to exit out and you know?
Who knows?
I'd be guessing disabling, because the new megaship subsystem mechanics is biasing towards wings teaming up to take out things like communications arrays, power supplies.
My bet is you wouldn't be able to do that
cargo
to
hatches,
players, but yes, rather to those megaships, for example, or fleet carriers for that.
Or fleet carriers, possibly, if people want that. Yeah.
Tractor beam, says Kobayashi. Mark Simpson, how far away from Colonia are you guys now? The journey is getting laborious to watch for so long. Well, I don't know. How far away from Colonia are we, Greatest?
Well, I don't know how far you are away.
Well, assuming that I was at the waypoint, how far away would I be, technically?
In general, that waypoint, let me look it up, would be around... Let's see.
I think I still have like a good 10,000 light years to go, right?
No, not even. Like, that waypoint would still be around 18,000 light years away from Colonia.
Yeah.
Roundabout. So we're a good third of the way there.
A third of the way. And I want to comment, it might have been Mark Simpson that had made this comment. Someone had left me a comment answering the question that I had asked on the last broadcast, which was, what do you guys enjoy about the show? And someone had left a comment saying that they really enjoyed the activities, the events that we host on the show. So, with that in mind, you know, we will do events again. It's not to say that we will never do events again, but this expedition is for a good cause, and this would be a really good time for us to just take a moment and reiterate that we're doing this to help raise funds for, is it cancer research that the funds are actually being raised for?
It certainly is.
Cancer research.
Children Cancer Research.
St. Jude's Children Cancer Research. There is a link in there. We are not, obviously there's no mandatory donations, but the whole idea behind this entire expedition is to help raise money, and that is the reason why we are doing it. Oh, God, there's, oh, okay, never mind. It's Ammonia World and 2 Water Worlds all discovered, so I feel no need to go out and rediscover them. Thank God!
The pressure's off, yeah.
Okay. So yes, this is for a good cause, and I'm sorry if it takes away the fun of normally, you know, events that we would normally host, but there's an underlying cause that we're doing this expedition for. So
I did actually plan to do some events on the waypoints, but they will probably not fall in line with the broadcast. So I'm sorry for that, because we don't at the broadcast waypoints. We have one more coming up next week, which will be the Crux. But that system, as far as I know, does not have any landable planets, and even if that's not the main point of the system, really, you're gonna see why. And next, the week after that is gonna be the final, the arrival at Colonia. So we might be able to do something there. I don't know. But yeah, we could maybe have an event there once we arrive.
I would also like to point out that we are doing our very best to entertain you with the sound of our voices and the chatter. However, if there's anything in particular that you would like us to discuss, or if you have any subjects that you would like to hear us talk about, or questions, you know, please feel free to put that in the chat. We are here to entertain you guys, and we're going to do our very best to do so. And that means entertaining questions, entertaining chat ideas. So please, let us know what you think in the chat, or if there's anything that you would like to talk about, or any topics that you would like us to discuss. We will be more than happy to accommodate.
Entertained?
Are you not entertained? I'm sure that...
Yeah, or if there's a particular voice you don't want to hear, you can say that too.
And maybe, just maybe, I will eat a terribly hot chip at the arrival of Colonia. Maybe.
Haha, finally.
Maybe. So, all of your pain of watching me jump will be worth it for me to suffer in pain when I arrive. I will be taking donations for my hospitalization bill after eating that. For the reconstruction of...
Plato says in chat there, we've hit the goal twice in the charity, and he's stretching it to a further total beyond that. So that is a thing, definitely a thing. Where what did Scorp say? 2008. What did you say?
2,814.
17. He says 2,817 pounds. Excellent stuff.
Yeah, Ricardo Marquez. Also always depends on the radius of the planet, of course. Even if it's 14 Earth masses, if that thing has like a radius of 22,000 kilometers, the gravity on the surface still isn't going to be too ridiculous. Probably around 3G as well. So those really crazy ones are the super small and super high, like high density planets, like Achenar, for example.
You know,
John Gunsel says, "What's up with Buka? I haven't heard from him for a while. Family. He's a family man. You know, that's what happened. Not family man. He's a family man. No, he's family man. It's family stuff.
Well, it goes a little further than that. Yeah, Shibuka is no longer an official part of the Brocast, so don't expect to see him on the show anytime in the near future. But he may pop in periodically to say hi and join us for some chat. Yes.
He did say he tries to be around Discord in the future still. We'll see how often he can be there, but not on the show for itself, probably no.
That's it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff nomming into his time.
Yes. Unfortunately, we can't all play games for the rest of our lives. As much fun as that would be, it's just not going to happen. Although we will certainly try to continue to bring the Brocast to you on a regular schedule, as we have for well over a year now, which I believe makes us the longest running Elite Dangerous live stream in history. I don't think any other live streams have been... Huzzah! So welcome to the show, and if you're just joining us for the Brocast for the first time, let us know in chat, or, you know, first or second time. Hashtag first timer. I'd love to see how many new people there are watching the show right now. The Brocast is a live stream that is brought to you every single Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We've been doing this for well over a year now, and... yeah, like I said, I think this we are officially the longest running Elite Dangerous live stream. I think we've been doing live streams longer than Elite Dangerous has been doing live streams.
On a
on a weekly basis.
A weekly,
Yeah,
on a
that's
weekly
probably
basis. Yeah,
true.
regular weekly basis.
On a weekly
Yeah,
basis.
to go to Shay in chat there, Josh is saying, why do you use an Explorer for exploration as opposed to an ASP? I'm curious. Well, if you saw his other account, my other account is an ASP.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And the ASP also is called Explorer, so what? Whatever, I think the most important question I've seen in chat there for you two gentlemen here is by Captain Pip26. Is 3 guys, 1 ship still a thing?
What? Yes, where is 3 guys, 1 ship?
That is a very good question.
That's tied into the Shibuka question.
Yeah,
legends say it might still be around.
Yeah.
We never gave a definitive time on when exactly that would release, but
no, I think the original plan was
apart
like
from the trailers that said this summer,
right?
It said summer.
We didn't define which summer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Summer.
Babies. Yeah.
Coming summer. Summertime in the future.
Yeah. It's a project that's kind of dependent on the fact that all 3 of us are around at the same time.
And work has been done. Work has been done.
Been a thing for a while. Yeah, but that's not been a possibility for quite a while, so
yeah.
It's not forgotten.
Not forgotten, and not cancelled.
It is still there.
We will notify you if 3 guys gets cancelled.
It is very worthy of being finished. I just hope you guys will manage to get around to it.
In fact, a lot of time has been put into it by at least a couple of us. So, I'm sure that we'll work out the fine details.
Just before the heat death of the universe. Right around there, yeah.
Yes. That is a good question, though.
Insert your respective coming soon summer.
It's not dead yet. I'm not dead yet! I feel fine!
What are your favorite and most hated ships in Elite? Oh boy.
Gosh, I've only flown 2.
Oh god.
I mean, the Diamondback Explorer and the Asp Explorer.
And the Sidewinder, right?
And I only
3 ships out of what, 35?
Oh no, I've flown quite a few ships. My favorites is the Vulture and the Viper Mark IV. Yes.
Oh boy, I got several favorites depending on what you want to do with the ship, so I won't even start. The ship I probably do not really like still, and I know many people hate me for it, is the Clipper. I've never flown it, and I probably won't ever, because I don't like how it looks. It probably does well as what it is, but I prefer the Python anyway. I know many people love that ship, and I do love the Cutter on the other hand, even though that some people consider those two to be very similar, but something is just completely off for me on the Clipper.
Is the Clipper, does it have one of those offset seating assignments?
I'm not even sure. Might be, but that's not the problem I have with it.
What is the problem you have with it?
Just how it looks. I don't know.
You don't like the phallic sort of, you know...
I mean, the Cutter is also sort of phallic, but on the Clipper the proportions are just slightly different, and for some reason that completely throws it off for me.
So what you're saying is you like a much larger phallic ship.
Yeah, I need girth on my phallic ships.
Oh god!
That's just like, you know, that level of girth. Just take the Type 7.
X-Men 2008 says it's a duck airplane.
I do have a very bad history of the Type 7, so that's probably my second most hated ship. Yeah. Apart from that, there's no real like super horrible ship. They're just ships I would probably never use. Like I have an FDL, but I will not really use it. I don't see. I've never really used an adder for anything on purpose, except for maybe, no, taxiing is still also going to be the hauler. So there are some of these ships that don't really serve a purpose for me, but I don't hate them per se.
Alan Dixon says the Clipper doesn't have enough guns. Now, I've never flown a Clipper either, but, I mean, I've killed plenty of them, so... I've seen them in action, and not terribly impressed. I would take a Vulture over a Clipper any day. Not to mention that the ship kit on the Vulture looks amazing. That's one of my... I just love it. You know what? There was a concept art image that we showed... oh, my goodness. Oh, look at this. Here's a relatively close binary. Why don't I fly through the middle of them and fuel scoop and then go into external camera just for fun? I'm flying through the middle. I'm doing it. I don't remember what it was. It was when the concept art book released that we showed this. It was a ship that had not been released in the game. It looked very similar to the Vulture or the Python. It was kind of like a mix between the Vulture and the Python. And it looked so good. And you know what? When they're releasing these new ships, and I know we're going to get some new ships in the Beyond, right? Beyond update, we will see some new ships added into the game. The first one that we're seeing right now is the Chieftain, and we've seen the Type 10. So we've seen the Type 10 and the Chieftain.
And we do know the crate is coming as well.
And we know the crate is coming as well. None of these look anything like the concept art ship that was in there. I don't understand why we can't get streamlined spaceships. What is the problem with having something that actually looks cool? Why do all of the ships in Elite Dangerous have to look boxy? They look like Volvos, okay? Like, I mean, like, this is like Volvo Simulator. Volvo and Volkswagen Simulator. No offense to the German cars great tests. They're very well built, but they just don't look very nice. I mean, no one ever drove a Jetta because it looked sexy. They drove it because it's a great car.
And how do those cars of that particular Canadian manufacturer look you always mention?
You mean the dog sled? That's terribly streamlined. Come on.
Okay, yeah, case in point there.
I'd love to see you drive a German car over the snow, okay?
I'll get an Audi Quattro. No issue.
Yeah.
Our cars run on dog food.
Oh boy.
It's environmentally friendly, unlike the Volkswagens. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a scandal right there. What was that whole thing? Oh right, they were like lying about the emissions and had like some scam device installed in the cars. Like, what a mess. What a bunch of idiots.
What a mess indeed, yeah.
Bunch of Federation corporate people, basically. Yeah.
Dollar bills, y'all. That's right. It's all about the dollar bills.
Corporate feds.
Oh, my first neutron star. Hey, look at that.
I bet it's tagged.
All right. Probably. I won't know because I'm not going to tag it. I'm just flying into the jet cone.
Oh, you'd be allowed to stop for that.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, such discipline.
I didn't even get the charge, did I? God damn it. I didn't get the goddamn charge. It says FSD operating beyond safety limits, but it didn't say overcharged or whatever the hell it's supposed to say.
Oh, because you instantly left the stream again.
No, I got right into it.
You crossed it too quickly.
They told me not to cross the streams. There we go. Frame shift drive.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That one has a very nice, like, helix spiral.
Yeah, it really did. It was like a
spinning so slowly.
Yeah, let's see if I can. Oh god, no, I can't.
Yeah, Limit was saying that you've got to sort of get in. You've got to get in slower. You've got to, you know, just get in slower. Ride
slowly.
That way.
Slither in.
Insert yourself into the neutron star stream.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's how we supercharge the drive. Okay. You have the supercharger T-shirt though. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, Captain Course. I have to agree. Hats off to you, Josh. You've made it this far without scanning.
Yes.
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
All your bets have been put to shame.
Yeah, indeed.
It's painful. Thank God for beer. That's all I have to say. This buckyballing run has been brought to you by Sapporo, the premium beer from Japan. Is it Japanese?
Japan. Yes, it's Japanese beer.
So you have
It
about
says
40
Guelph,
minutes
Canada.
left.
Guelph, Canada. How long?
How many jumps?
Wait, what time is it?
About 40 minutes left. How
Oh,
many jumps
40
left?
minutes left. Okay, I'll tell you
Come
when
on.
we get through this jump here. Hang on one sec. Yes, buckyballing. Thank God for beer. If I run out of this one, I don't know what's going to happen, though. Just saying. I have 60
Do you
feet.
like the old
Only-
can of Sapporo? Do you like
The
the
only thing that keeps him sane are you guys in chat.
You guys in chat and Sapporo beer. I have 64 jumps left to go, and 40 minutes. I mean,
Yeah, you would have to do one jump every 50 seconds straight. That's gonna be tough, mate.
yeah, it's
Powerhouse,
gonna be
powerhouse,
tough.
See ya. See
Take
ya,
it easy,
man.
powerhouse.
See ya. See ya.
Beer is liquid bread. I'm good. Yeah. Drinking and jumping.
There's a how do you say that? A saying in Bavaria. That little bit I would eat, I can also drink.
Okay.
I
That
don't
sounds
understand
very
it.
German.
Yeah.
Like it basically says, I don't even need to start eating. I can just drink instead.
Well, there are some beers that are basically like eating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then that applies not just to German beers, but to like English beers as well. Guinness is practically a food group on its own. I mean, you don't need to eat when you go to the pub.
Full nutritional value.
That's right. It's almost like it's almost like a smoothie rather than a beer, you know.
You can
It's
put
a
it on your
yeast
bread.
smoothie. Put it on your bread.
That's the thing. Mark,
Why
Mark
wouldn't it
Simpson's-
surprise me if some English people did put it
Yes,
on their bread?
And Andy K is quite right. Irish. We should be shooting you right now for
Guinness
calling
is
Guinness
Irish.
English because it's not.
But the
Ouch.
English drink it,
It's
don't
Irish.
you? Do
Everybody drinks Guinness.
Okay.
But you'd get a proper slap upside the head for saying it's English. 'Cause
And
it's-
there are a lot more English than there are Irish, I'm assuming.
You've never been to... Wait, you've been to Boston.
I've been to Boston. Right.
Everybody in Boston's Irish, aren't they?
They've got Marmite for that.
As a matter of fact, I am
But yeah.
30% Irish, so believe it or not.
Yeah.
According to my DNA, I'm sure I've mentioned this on a stream before, that my sister took one of those cheek swab DNA tests. And I am 30% Irish. It's silence. It's just like
Whatever.
Okay. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the Irish. Thanks, guys.
Stop digging, Josh. I guess he's talking about your own hole that you're digging your.
Hey, I've got an unidentified signal source here. Degraded
I was
emission.
gonna say though, yeah, it'll be a large survey cache if you're lucky. They're worth about 100k.
My DNS came back that I am 30% alcohol.
Yar. Har, har. Is it normal to find unidentified signal sources this far away from the bubble?
Yes. It'll be a survey cache.
I don't see
I'll
those
just put
that
that here.
often.
Mark Simpson says in chat there, the origin of the Thargoid, if you want to know. Yes, you have to check Captain Kremen Series 1. Quite right indeed. The Thargoids existed before Elite.
Neutron
They
star.
were part of Kenny Everett's Captain Kremen on his radio series. They were the alien race that Captain Kremen faced in the 70s on Kenny Everett's radio series. And that's where David
The more you
Bateman
know.
borrowed it from. He borrowed it from Kenny Everett. It's a good source to borrow things from, though. So.
I wish I could say that I knew who Kenny Everett was.
Well, that's your loss, I'm afraid. You'll just have to look that one up yourself later.
Apparently it is my
Kenny
loss.
Everett, he was one of the first comedians that we had then, radio presenter mostly, who basically allowed the studio crew, when he was making television series and things, to actually just not have to abide by the rules of being quiet and staying out the way. So a lot of the time when on his sketch shows, you can just hear the whole studio crew cracking up laughing because they were allowed to get involved making it, because it's more fun that way.
I just want to point out,
like third one out on that red one. That was that an Earth?
I just wanted to point that out.
I just got a glimpse there from the color. I thought that's got to be an Earth.
Just thought I'd point that out. Maybe an Earth-like, maybe a water world. I don't know. I'll never know because I skipped it, and it was in a neutron star system.
Yeah, Balrog. It was all done in the best possible taste. Yeah, you can find the ancestry of Turjanas in Kenny Everett, really, I suppose, if you want to look at it that way.
Just saying.
Including the beard, actually.
Can't believe
Kenny
I
Everett
just
doing his
skipped
female
that.
impersonation.
What's your fuel, mate?
It was so cool.
My fuel's doing just fine.
If you say so.
I'm like a half fuel. Half fuel. Let's see. This might not be a scoopable star, though. We'll take a look at my route in just a second.
It's a neutron star.
You could tell because it doesn't show up. There's no visual representation of it, right?
No, you can tell because I'm about 10 seconds behind on stream and it says you're jumping to a neutron star.
Oh, okay.
Amanda's Garden says, I'd forgotten all about Kenny. What was the name of the drag character, best possible taste? It was Cupid Stunt, and I'm not going to say that. That was the character's name for obvious reasons.
Oh, that's so good. I got that one. I'm proud of myself.
Not going to repeat that one.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's lovely.
This could be the very last jump I ever make, guys. Just saying. It's going to consume all of my fuel for one jump.
I came out of the 70s as balanced, as well adjusted as I am. No, that is because we came out of the 70s where we are because of things like Kenny Everett, not in spite of.
That's amazing. All right. You know, it's so nice to look out into the night sky and see all of these nebula. Oh my gosh, I'm so pissed off at myself for having taken the wrong side of the goddamn galaxy when I set off. Why did I go right when I could have gone left? If I'd have gone that way, I would have made it right to the castle.
Right to that castle, yes.
If you get that reference, hey, oh crap, wait a second.
Yeah. Don't go that way, never go that way.
Don't go that way. Right? If you get that reference, hashtag Labyrinth in the chat. And if you put hashtag Labyrinth in the chat right now, you're old. Just saying.
Ish.
Oldish, yeah. Oldish.
Got good taste.
Good taste, sure. Is that the Eagle Nebula that I'm looking at off in the distance there on the screen right now? I want to say it could be. It could be. I see a large cluster of bright
Commander
stars.
says up or down. You see? He's gone one further for you there.
Woo!
Which way,
Labyrinth.
up or down?
There we go. Please run out of fuel, says Rosenche. Yes. No, that will never happen.
I'm just a worm.
Just a worm.
I'm just a worm.
So, that could be the Eagle Nebula off in the distance there. Let's take a look. I know that the Eagle Nebula does have a bright clustering of stars. I think it's got like a bunch of F stars near it.
I didn't actually see those. I'm not sure if they're like hidden in the clouds of the nebula or something.
Are they in the clouds of the nebula? I am not sure.
It just might be my awful quality settings that I didn't see them. I don't know.
Well, we'll fly around this star here real quick and then take a look at the galaxy.
See them, yeah, because it's a huge cluster.
Well, there's a very large cluster of stars ahead, and I'm 56 jumps out from the damn nebula still, so I don't know if I would see it from this far.
Quotes there. Full-on quotes in chat. It's all in there. Beware. The door knockers.
Slugs and snails and puppy dog tails.
Yeah, it's all in there.
And baby said. Yeah, good old David Bowie.
We were mentioning Brotherly love, the other character from Kenny Everett. It's a very bro thing. Yes, I'll have to dig that out, reference for you two, and post it in admin later.
Oh, I do love the Diamondback Explorer for its heat management, though. Quite incredible.
Of course, a commander 40% would say that.
Oh, look at this.
Come inside and meet the missus. Yeah.
Another great movie, similar to that, with a lot of puppetry, The Never-Ending Story. I want to say that's probably earlier than... oh, gosh, I mean, they created some...
Well, at least that one made it over
to there's a toss-up.
I did see The Never-Ending Story when I was super small, like when I was, I don't know, 5, 6 years old or so.
Did you now?
I do recall going. There's like a film studio in Munich, and they had like this fluffy what's Fuchur, the name.
Fulcor.
In German, it's Fuchur, whatever.
Falcor.
And they had
and Atreyu.
There's a picture of myself riding in the saddle.
You're right, actually. It is just before. One's 85, one's 86. So, yes, it was just before.
Yeah, that's true. All of you guys putting Dark Crystal in chat. That is another fantastic puppetry movie right there.
It was. Amanda's Garden says, when are they going to add clangers to planet surfaces? I would love that.
What?
Clangers there and have soup dragons. You don't know, do you? You people. We want the clangers and we want soup dragons. We want soup dragons underneath in caves. And clangers.
Soup dragons. Not a clue what a soup dragon is.
You poor culture-starved people.
I don't think that could be... I don't think I would see those stars 56 jumps away. I'm not sure what that is. I want to open up the galaxy map and take a look, because that is a very interesting cluster of bright stars there. F or G's, I'm assuming. Take a look. Or no, not F or G, excuse me. O-class stars, most likely.
Yes, got a lot of effigies out there.
Effigies? Effigies?
Got off on one now.
Let's take a look. Let's
swing
that around.
There you go, Grass. I'm not the only one. That was...
The button moon landings were fake. Yes, thanks for that.
Alright, let's take a look at the system map real quick. Nothing here, probably. No. Okay. And let's look at the galaxy map. So, what is that cluster ahead of us there? No, not the Eagle Nebula. It's this nebula over here.
Is it a crunchy nut cluster?
Wow. Wow. This is the... Well, you could see it right on the galaxy map. I mean, I don't even have to filter the stars for you to see it. It's just a humongous group of...
Oh, it's the... Yeah. Is that where the... no, hang on. It's not. Is it where the OBJs are? Could be. Yeah.
Well, it's quite the cluster of stars.
Captain Lagoon, yeah.
Omega, the Omega Nebula. Is that it? It's the Omega sector.
Nope.
So
Omega is the last one. Eagle is the current one.
Well, this one here is. It says Omega sector.
And yeah, that might be the cluster you're looking at, but is that the one near the waypoint, though? I'm not sure.
Well, this is the Omega sector that I'm looking at right now, and this is the one that's closest to us. Actually, it's almost...
Over to
oh, no. No. Hold on. Yeah, we're closer to the Omega Nebula than we are to the Eagle Nebula.
Well, you might be, because you're passing by there, probably, yeah, because you're catching up.
That's it. We're passing the Omega Nebula.
And there was a cluster there as well, but I don't think you're seeing the Eagle cluster.
No, it's the Omega cluster that we're looking at right over there. Although we can see the Eagle Nebula, it's right there. If you look straight ahead from the destination right now, it's just very faint off in the distance.
And keep jumping.
Looking at what?
Maps and keep jumping.
Oh, I thought you said something else. Yeah, I'll stop looking at Nebs. Sure. Okay, well, I think those stars have been cataloged and added to ED. I'm sure that that entire cluster has been cataloged and added. Nobody goes around the other side of the galaxy because there's nothing to catalog there. They all come around this way. But it is really cool to look at, see a string of stars like that. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, keep on jumping. Just keep jumping. How much time we got left here, guys?
Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
I got 30 minutes and 50 jumps.
Minutes and 40 seconds left.
I got 50 jumps left. Did you say 15? 25. We have 26 minutes.
And 32 seconds.
All right. That's 2 jumps a minute. I can do it. Listen, the whole idea here is that I will be able to see the goddamn Eagle Nebula up close before we get there. Oh, wow. It's really cool, though. The closer we get to that Omega Nebula, the more stars are popping out. You don't see too many clusters like this in the night sky on the other side of the galaxy where I am, unfortunately. So that's actually really nice to look at. I want to get a better view of that. Of course, I can't because my camera suite is all messed up. What's T5? T5? Here we go. Look how nice that is. Look how cool that is. One day, when my exploration trip ends after maybe 4 years of exploring, I will go around the other side of the galaxy and take a look at all of these nebula up close and personal. Hopefully, one of the things that they'll change too is the way that nebula are generated, because that's something I got a little bit of a complaint on, the fact that there's so many cookie-cutter nebula in this game that's, you know, like, how many nebula total are there in the galaxy? Big ones. There's less than 100.
Probably, yeah.
So, is it really that much to ask that the nebula are unique? Each one of the nebula has a unique look? Or did they really need to cookie cutter every second one? You know?
I mean, I of course I don't have insight into the programming side of that, but you would think, you would think it wouldn't be too hard to also, for example, for the planetary nebula, to also generate them procedurally to have them differ.
But those are also cookie cutter. The systems inside them aren't.
I feel like in the planetary nebulas there's even less selection than of the big ones.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 different kinds, or 7 different kinds, or something like that, and every other one looks exactly like the last one. So it's like, oh wow, I saw a really cool nebula, and then you're like, oh, there's another one that looks just like it.
The only thing different there is you get different angles on them because you have different systems in the vicinity.
That's the only reason why they look different. But if you look on the galaxy map and rotate your view around, they look exactly like the last one. No different than the last. It's truly, truly unfortunate. Because from an explorer standpoint, you want to see new things. You want to see unique things. And after that, I think that coincides with the complaint that a lot of explorers have, is with the planetary surfaces, nothing is unique after you've explored for a month.
Well, I again kind of have to disagree, because mostly yes, but if you know what you're looking for and what kind of planets you have to go for and where to land on them, you do find kind of these crazy structures, valleys, mountains, and everything in between.
The planet structures, sure, if you fly down to planets.
Yeah, but the surface itself, I do agree there's no big variation there to be had.
Yeah, I mean, listen, planetary surfaces can all vary. Of course, those are all, as far as we know, those are procedurally generated, unique, each one individual, but how much would it surprise you if maybe there's a limited number of planet surfaces as well, and that eventually you come across a duplicate planet surface?
You mean like what? The color and structure, or what?
I mean like the exact same valleys and mountains.
No, I'm pretty sure those are every single time completely random.
You're pretty sure? Yeah?
Yeah, because that's just how the system is set up. There's pretty much no chance you would have the same one.
Are you 100% sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident on that one.
Quadratic
I got
Borealis.
my mind blown last week. I'm currently having my internship here, and I'm learning about all, programming kind of things. And I've learned about UUIDs or something along those lines. It's basically an ID that isn't really an ID. It only relies on being so incredibly unlikely to have exactly the same one twice when they're randomly generated, that's what it makes it unique.
I love how you say, I learned about it, or something like that. Did you learn about it, or did you learn about something like that, Great Test?
I heard about it, and I know how they I know how they work in base, but I couldn't explain everything about them to you. I just know that they rely on improbability to work as an ID, which is completely crazy in my mind, but apparently it works because it is so incredibly unlikely that you have the same one twice.
Right. Well, that would be procedurally generated, right? I mean, that would apply to the whole planetary surfaces thing. So I hope that there are no two planets that are exactly the same. But, and a lot of people in chat are saying that FDev actually said it once. Doubt that very much. They agree with Grey Test, so that's positive. I like that. I hope that you guys are all right, and that is in fact the case. But there's no way for us to verify that either, you know.
Yeah.
If there was a limit of, let's say, 1 million unique planets,
the Enterprise encountered a duplicate Earth. Oh, well then.
The Enterprise? Did they really? I don't remember that. Which Enterprise was that?
I haven't seen every episode, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, I've seen every episode of The Next Generation, and I've seen almost every episode, I believe at least, of the original Star Trek. So which, are we talking about Next Generation, or are you talking about original? Or are we talking about Enterprise? Which Enterprise? There are multiple Enterprises. It works for No Man's Sky, says Sinclair Research. Yeah. Mirror universe and stuff. Slarty Batfast might have something to say about unique planets.
Slarty Batfast.
Oh, I hate that guy. I've seen so many systems tagged by him out at the abyss. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are some players who would be able to confirm whether or not there are duplicate planets or not.
At some point I started calling him Slotty Bastard. I don't know the guy, he's probably very nice, but I hated seeing him all over the place.
Alright, let's get the hell out of here. How many more jumps? Let's see, we got 45 more jumps. How much time do we have?
And 18 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, I tried. I did really good, though. I mean...
Yeah, you did good. You did really good.
And we'll get pretty close. I mean, we'll be about 20 jumps away, so... I caught up. How far is the next waypoint, like, for next Sunday? How far do I have to go?
Let me check the exact distance for you. The next one will be roughly...
Keep in mind,
roughly 1,300 light years.
Next Sunday we're talking, right?
Oh, next Sunday, to reach that one, from Waypoint 8 on. Or from where?
Well, from where I am, roughly 20 jumps away from Waypoint 8.
Oh god, that's gonna be in the range of 10,000 light years for you.
What? You mean... No way. I can't do that.
You're gonna have to do roughly 10,000 in that week.
Well, I don't think I can do it in one episode, so...
No, you should do, like... You probably should do some jumping during the week.
That's great in theory. There's a lot of things I'd like to do during the week. I'll do my best. I'll try to log on and do a couple hours of jumping at some point during the week, if that's possible. I don't know if that's going to be possible or not. Any other topics you guys want to discuss in chat, by the way? Well, we still have 20 minutes left of the show.
I'm getting the impression chat wants to know whether either of you two actually know who Slarty Bartfast is.
I've seen the name pop up before.
Because if you don't, then he was the planet builder in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I get that reference, but I don't know who the guy is.
Good.
Really dangerous.
Good. Just checking.
I've seen the the thing.
No, it's a curious thing. We're having a chat the other night. I can't remember on one or other of the streams that I was sitting at home about the people whose footsteps you end up traveling in when you're out exploring in the far black, and people tend to find other different people. You know, obviously in Gray's case, it's Slutty Bartfast.
Slutty Bartfast and Hamstel Bastard. Also not actually Bastard, but I also called him Bastard at some point. Those were the two guys I met out there.
Well, I kept finding who of course is actually the reverse name of Lintilla, which is another Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy character.
I see a pattern
here. You know, it's a thing. Yeah, exactly. But you do find once you've found a system tagged by one person out there in the middle of nowhere, there's a very high probability that in a jump or two you'll find another one. It's just one of those things. And I rather like the fact that you're out there in the middle of nowhere and you find I say it's a bit like finding
familiar name
being in the wilderness, and you find a burnt out campfire, you know, and you go, yeah, someone's been here. That's rather nice. I like it.
Commander Carpe Diem 104 says, "Hey Josh, did you ever turn in your exploration data?" No, I have not yet been back to the bubble. We're going on 3 years of being out there somewhere, floating away. Still somewhere.
Yeah, if he leaves it much longer, he'll probably get about 1,000 credits when he gets back, because everything he's found will have been tagged by now.
That's right. Yep, I will be very interested in seeing if the one little planetary nebula that I discovered... Actually, I discovered 2 planetary nebula along the way. If those 2 will have been discovered and tagged by now. I'm pretty sure I showed them off in a stream, but I never showed the names. Just the external camera view. Someone says they found Shibuka. I'm assuming you mean on like a Distant Worlds expedition?
Yeah, out there. Yeah, out there in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
I think that kind of goes along with like what we were saying about, you know, if you're setting a course from, let's say, the bubble out to Distant Worlds or to Beagle Point, there's a certain... Well, you know, you're likely to come across other people's explored systems because they're all jumping at relatively the same jump distance, especially when the game first came out and Distant Worlds 1 was setting off. Yeah. You know, the jump range was very limited to, you know...
Yeah, I find it curious, about
35 to 45?
Yeah. But I found it curious that, again, it's like I said in episode 10 there, Intelligence Travels, that people always go where people go. You find that if something is attracting you to a certain area of space, you go, oh, that looks interesting, I'll head out that way. Someone else will have done the same thing. Yeah, because that's people for you. And by the way, I think Commander Machine deserves a slap there because he said, I found Nemo. Thanks. Commander Machine. Give him a slap, everybody.
I wouldn't even be surprised if there was a Commander Nemo in game. So
yes.
Oh, Amanda's Garden says, I found a gray test planet on my way from Omega Neb to the bubble.
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, good.
There's a row of about 3,000 stars to and from Beagle Point tagged by me, so you're off to find one of them.
Yeah, so the chances of you finding a great test planet are like 1 in...
Star.
Yeah, 1 in...
Because I usually just scanned the star and moved on unless the system was interesting.
Yeah. Its chance of you finding one scanned by me is a lot less, actually, because most of the time I just hop through systems without scanning anything.
No, that was kind of part
even the star.
My jonking procedure, because I was flying the DBX, and since that doesn't scoop too fast, what I would do is drop in, you know, scan the star while I fuel scoop, look at the system map while I'm doing that, and then move on to the next system when I'm finished scanning. So that's what I did 3,000 times, runabout.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nobody would ever find a Josh Hawkins tagged planet.
No, not yet, probably. Yeah.
Someone in the future.
Before they lined the planets up so that whenever you jumped into a system, you had no idea where the next star was going to be relative to you. So it made it more fun.
Sometimes that was actually like fortunate because you didn't have to go around the star, and that was actually quicker. Just turn around and fly away again.
True. But I used to enjoy sort of diving around the star and scooping and just getting straight out. So I seldom scanned anything. But you will find systems that have tags in by me because there's a potato world in there or something that's just scanning. Nothing else. Just
one potato world.
Yeah. I'll move on.
1 in 400 billion. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, from FDev to Commander Josh Hawkins. Unfortunately, your exploration data has expired. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Your exploration data exists from a previous version of the game that no longer exists. So
yeah, our backup was overloaded. Unfortunately, we exclude your discovery data.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
your discovery data is unfortunately not compatible or not. Doesn't suit our current format anymore. So this way it has to discard it.
Let me overheat a little bit while I make this
Borealis
next jump.
There. It says Google Earth exploration in VR is fun. Yes, it is. It's strangely addictive, actually. Google Earth in VR. You just find yourself wandering along streets in the middle of some foreign country with that little music playing in the background there, just exploring the planet for hours and hours, and you don't realize how long you've been there.
Kuhad asks, Josh, why can't we play games for the rest of our lives? I intend to until my hands are bloody stumps. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, Kuhad, and I don't know how old you are, but I can certainly say that bloody stumps is not necessarily the problem. It's more like arthritis that's the problem. Because after a good play session nowadays, not to say that I have any major arthritis problems, but I will say that my hands are a little sore when I finish playing for several hours. So it gets pretty sore. Oh, the frame
because you're not playing enough.
Yeah, maybe that's it. My hands are not
more. That'll clear
fully exercised. Maybe that's the problem. I need to play more.
Yeah, RSI. Keep playing through the pain, says Kuhad. That's right.
Oh, you poor knackered old goat.
Thank God for Astra and the gang. Yeah. If I reinstall my OS, does the exploration data get lost? Limit, no, I don't believe that's the case. I believe it's stored on
server side.
Yeah, if it was client side, someone would have already found a way to explore every planet in the galaxy.
All you might lose if you haven't backed that up separately is your logs, your local logs. But you don't really need those unless you want to retrace all your activities way back into the days.
The logs would only be useful if you're doing things like using Captain's Log or any of the exploration data recording softwares, third-party programs and whatnot, which certainly do come in very handy if you're going to be doing any type of exploration, so they come highly recommended. Captain's Log, EDSM, any other ones that are...
But even there, you have the possibility or the option to upload them to something like EDSM, and then you don't even necessarily local...
Cancel jump. Okay, sorry. We are canceling the jump, ladies and gentlemen. We are canceling the jump, and I'm sure someone's going to come back and steal the... Oh, it's already discovered, you god... Well, you know what? I'm going to scan it anyhow, okay? I'm scanning it anyhow, and suck it if you got a problem with it. We're not going to get to the Eagle Nebula today, but it is a ringed ammonia world orbiting a neutron star.
Fair enough.
2,500 light seconds out, so...
Damn you, Peter.
God damn you, Peter. Whoever you are, I will find you, and I will kill you. Look at that. Look at that.
What's that? No, Amanda's Garden saying get voice attack. Voice attack solves the aching issues.
Your visited star cache is stored locally. That's the option you have in the galaxy map now to check the stars that you've visited before. And if you want to have that, like every star that you ever visited, then you will have to back that file up on your PC to see that. If you reinstall your OS without backing that up, your old stars will get lost and you won't see them anymore.
Mother's Garden says we've all scanned that one.
Oh, don't get me started, please.
They're all saying that's not an ammonia world. Everyone's saying that's not an ammonia world. That's an HMC.
Is it?
What
do you think? Is it an HMC or an ammonia
that's
world?
That's what they're saying.
That's
well, from the look of the hologram, yeah.
Oh, yeah. From the look of the hologram, it does look like an HMC. Ooh, I just wasted my time. Just wasted my time. Nothing more I hate than wasting my time. We're scanning it anyhow. Damn it. Here I was thinking it was an ammonia world. I could have just kept going.
It's worth a $5.
Well, you know what? If it was closer to the neutron star, it would have been more worth it, but, let's see. High metal content. You guys are right. Yep.
Yeah.
Next waypoint. Next waypoint. Oh, Astra.
She's gone off here.
Astra, can you hear me?
Astra, can you hear me?
Yes.
Astra.
Oh, she can hear me.
Further instructions.
Next waypoint.
Oh, I can hear you. I'm just ignoring you. Come on.
Oh, she's totally ignoring me.
That's the problem, you see.
That's
That's the problem with voice
You're
text.
fired. You're fired, Astra.
That's what happens.
You are fired.
You have to use your hands. That's like a baby's game.
Totally fired. 100% fired.
Spot the quote, kiddies. Spot the quote. Surely you can spot that one.
Josh says, Nick says, Josh, she's doing her nails. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, don't disturb her, man. That's so rude.
Okay, next stream we watched Josh reaching Hutton Orbital. I'm pretty sure I would have reached Hutton Orbital by now on a single stream.
Easily.
Yeah.
We have only 4 minutes left, so how close are you to Eagle?
I am 34 jumps away. We're not going to make it there.
To about 30 jumps away.
Look,
we can even see anything.
I can
from
see
it?
the Eagle Nebula. Yeah, I can see the Eagle Nebula from where I am. It's right
no
there.
Cluster, right?
I don't see any clustering yet. 34 jumps out.
That cluster, maybe it's not super bright stars, and that's why you don't see them from super far away.
But you can see the Eagle. Well, no, because there's a limit on how far stars generate in the skybox, and it's not 34 jumps at 40 light years a jump. So I think the maximum range you can see stars is like 25 light years or 30 light years on these
No, it depends. Brighter ones you can certainly see farther as well. It just depends on what type of star, how big, how bright.
Well, we've got a close orbiting trinary here. That's kind of cool. So, yeah, at least we got some interesting things to see. We're not going to make it to the Eagle Nebula. Those stars are way too close. Way, way too close. That's something that I hope that they add into the visual upgrades for exploration. Maybe some of the new things we'll see is like stars feeding off each other's coronal atmospheres.
They did talk about, at FX17, they did talk about anomalies and other stellar features being added into the galaxy, and I really hope we're going to have stuff like that. Like, super interesting stuff to find out there, unique stuff.
I'm going to fly between these stars, okay?
Oh, you're so
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Commander 40% is added again, boys.
I'm doing it.
Watch and learn.
I'm launching a heatsink right now. I have heatsinks on this ship, so...
You don't need heatsinks on the DBX. What are you doing?
To fly between these stars? Are you crazy?
You're in a DBX.
Did you see these stars? Did you look at the stream?
I did see.
Did you see how close they are to one another?
Yeah.
You don't...
And still, you're in the DBX.
Yeah, and? You think that...
I've flown through neutron stars in the DBX and I was fine.
I don't know.
He's been smoking the HUDs in this thing so far with his refueling.
Okay, let's see. Let's see how far I can go without overheating in a DBX. 73%, 75%. Since we're not going to make it there, we may as well test this. 80, 85, 87, 89, 92, 94, 97. Okay, we're going to overheat a little bit. Oh, 99!
taking heat damage.
Oh, Grey Test was right. We could make it through. Wow, Grey Test, ever the efficient calculator. You're like a freaking human abacus.
A human, yes, the human abacus. We call it.
All right, well, we're coming up to the last couple of jumps. We made it 33 jumps away from the Eagle Nebula. That's pretty darn close. We can see it on the screen right over here for those of you who are sitting there waiting. We'll try to catch up with you on the next broadcast.
And give us all the salute in chat so we can say goodbye in the last minute.
Yeah, let's do one of those. We've got 1 minute left. Let's get salutes in the chat, and I'll stop the ship in the next system and see if we can't do one of those.
Bucker's got some wise advice there. Quick tip when exploring and you hear yourself saying, "This'll look cool." Don't.
Trust me, Josh has learned that lesson before.
Wise words.
All right, let's go through here. Let's get some broadcast music going, shall we? Brotest.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you want to protest? You want to protest?
Quickly. Commander Botomax, Commander Rod Wader, Spookulot, X-Men 2008 Top Blazer, Commander Scorpius Brothers, Sabathius, Commander Corvus, Corvax, Nevermore, Dante UK, Killostream, Matt's Galaxy, General Ghost, Utentai, Jamie Volks, Rhett Gibbs, Mancoon Crest, James, Oliver Academic Dust, KDT, Giga, Rav J, John Gunsel, Commander Thudpucker, Carlos, Eureka, Social Dragonfly, and you know what? Forget it. I want to just say thanks so much for joining us today on the broadcast. We hope to see you all next week. Make sure to check out the other videos that are going to pop up right over here. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't forget to leave a like and a comment to let us know what you thought of today's episode of the broadcast. For all of us on the broadcast crew, we wish you happy flying, and we will see you next week. This is Commander Josh Hawkins, signing off.
Cheerio.
Cheerio, y'alls.